Hello, my name is Ricardo Gonzales. I'm a painter here in New York, in Brooklyn. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about color and how I use it in my own painting. I'm going to also make two examples. I'm going to do two paintings. You're going to see two different ways of approaching color. Color is one of the best tools for a painter to make a good picture. Everybody uses color in different ways. It's a very subjective and personal thing. In my own painting, I like to use color in order to attract attention to a viewer, also to create a certain type of mood. Color can change the mood and how you view a painting completely. There are many ranges and approaches on how you can achieve this. Today I'm going to make two different types of painting. One of the paintings is going to be using color in a very high contrast way, which is going to make the painting very attractive. It's going to seem like a very loud painting. It's going to almost be like eye candy. And I'm going to make another painting that's going to be the opposite to that, which is going to be very subdued, very calming, and very approachable. And it's going to be a painting that reads more slowly. So, talking about color, I've used color in many different ways. I usually tend to go for colors that are a little bit jarring. Sometimes I like colors that kind of have an acidy effect. I also like colors that are very rugged looking, almost like something from the street. They're very gray and browns. I like that feeling for a painting. In my painting, I went through some periods of making black on black paintings. They were portraits of beautiful women, and for me, the black represented somehow like somehow a feeling of death, and maybe seeing death as a beautiful thing, but at the same time seeing black as an elegant and minimalist painting. I've also been attracted. I had a series of paintings that were, very grays, browns, greens, almost very. Almost like the colors of dirtiness, something that you'd find in the basement, something almost a little bit of decay. But I was very attracted to that because it is something that I feel not a lot of people explore in painting. People usually go for the more beautiful, more attractive colors, but I think that also exploring different types of palettes, different types of color combinations is important to painting, because painting comes from everything that you see and all your surroundings. But I also sometimes think what I want a person that is looking at the painting to feel, and that's how sometimes I'll go and choose the appropriate colors for that feeling. And now I'm going to demonstrate how I make a painting, and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make a painting that's going to be high contrast, attractive, and easy to see. And so we're going to start I'm going to start by adding the first layer of yellow. And yellow, I chose yellow because it's going to make the painting look really bright and also attractive, happy, pleasing. And I'm going to do a drawing, basically, that's going to have enough yellow and white on the canvas almost evenly, so then we can later add some more layers on top. This paint is pretty great. It dries and stays glossy and it looks fresh, so it always maintains that intense color. And it's a paint that I buy from this guy in New York who makes his own pigments, and he sells liquid pigments, and then you mix them with a glue, the type of glue, and you can create any type of paint that you want with any kind of viscosity that you want to get. that dry for a little while. And once it's dry, I'm going to add another layer that's going to be I'm going to add another layer that's going to have more color, but it's going to be done in a very uncontrolled and almost chaotic type of way. That's going to contrast a little bit with the more controlled lines. And so this painting is going to have a little bit of contrast between controlled and uncontrolled. The controlled aspect is going to be the color combinations that I chose. It's something that I feel like it's going to work together well. And the uncontrolled aspect is going to be the way I lay the next layer down, which is going to be a little more random. For later. So now I'm going to start the second painting, and this one is going to be done with grays, browns, more muted colors. I want to take all the white out of this painting because I don't want any high contrast. This is going to be a low contrast painting. So I'm going to do a layer of this color that I mixed that is kind of almost like a grayish, yellow, yucky kind of color. And I mixed this by adding some black, some white. I did some yellow ochre, which yellow ochre is kind of a brownish color. I added some brown as well, so it made this kind of, let's see what kind of color it is. I'm just going to cover the whole canvas with it. You can see some of the brush strokes, but I like to go in all kinds of directions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be even. In this painting, I want to give out a little bit more of the feeling of something to be looked at slowly, with patience. Not something that really jumps out and grabs you, but something that's more quietly sitting in the background that you can go and approach yourself. It's also important in painting that you start with really white canvas sometimes, because as you see, the colors also are not thick enough to cover them. You can still see the white coming through the colors. The way I like to paint is I like to let things also happen by themselves. I'm not a super controlling of every little thing I do in the painting. I like to control certain parts, certain things, like the colors, but sometimes I let just the forms and I let things happen by themselves sometimes. And for me, that's important. It's important because I feel like I can surprise myself more when I do things that weren't planned, that I wasn't expecting to see, but they just happen. I like that feeling. For me, using color is also very similar to choosing chords in music. You know, when you put certain colors together, it creates a chord, it creates a mood, it creates a certain feeling, just the same way as in music. And musicians, how they pick out certain chords for songs, how certain songs make you feel energetic and happy, how some other songs make you feel more meditative or relaxed.